What's going on, JW Faction? My name is Josh Williamson. So for this little video recipe, I'm going to show you how to make a red velvet cake. It's very easy to put together. It does take a little bit of time, that's true, but it tastes amazing. It's well worth it. So let's get started. So to start this recipe off, in this little measuring cup right here, I have 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. And to that, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda, along with 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. Then just mix those together. Alright, so in another measuring cup, I have 1 cup of buttermilk. Now, if you don't have buttermilk, you can just use regular milk, but add 1 to 2 tablespoons of vinegar or lemon juice to that. But anyways, to that, we're going to add about a teaspoon's worth of vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon of vinegar, 1/4 cup of oil. Any oil is okay, I'm using olive oil, and then mix those together. And finally, to this mixture, we're going to add about 2.5 tablespoons of red food coloring. And then just mix that all in. Alright, so the reason why it doesn't look 100% red, it looks a little bit pink, is because I actually ran out of red food coloring, and I had to mix it in with a little bit of deep pink food coloring. So don't do what I did, okay? Make sure you have a lot of red food coloring. Alright, so for the next step, in a stand mixer, I have 1/2 cup of butter that's softened at room temperature, and to that I'm going to add 1.5 cups of white sugar. And then using the paddle attachment, we're just going to beat this all together until it's well combined. Alright, so after all that's done, what you want to do now is add 2 eggs, but we're only going to add them 1 at a time. So just mix 1 egg in, and then add the other one in until it's mixed in as well. Second egg. And then mix that in. Alright, so next we're going to add in the buttermilk mixture that we made before. And finally, that flour mixture that we made before. And then just mix it all in until it's well combined. And look at how nice and red that mixture is. It's pretty cool, huh? Alright, so for the next step, I have these 2 baking pans that I've lined with vegetable oil. I rub with vegetable oil, and I put some parchment paper on the bottom, and I sprinkled some flour over the sides. That seems a little bit like overkill, but I really want to make sure that these cakes don't stick to the pans. Now, the next step is getting as even as batter as you can in both of the pans. I'll come back when I'm done. Alright, so after you've done that, what you want to do now is put this in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 180 degrees Celsius, for about 20 to 30 minutes, or until you insert a toothpick or a skewer in the center of the cakes and they come out clean. So on to that step. Alright, so this is what the cake should look like when they come out of the oven. Now, what we're going to do now is let them cool in the pan for about 10 minutes, then take them out of the pan and put them on the wire rack to cool completely, okay? You want these to cool completely before you do anything else with them. Alright, so now we're going to get it started on the cream cheese icing that we're going to put on top of the cake. Now, back in the stand mixer, I have 16 ounces of cream cheese along with 1/2 cup of butter. That's both of them are softened at room temperature. And to that, I'm going to add about a teaspoon's worth of vanilla extract. And then back to using the paddle attachment for the stand mixer, we are going to beat this all together until it's well combined and it turns like a little light color. About maybe 3 minutes or so. Alright, so after you've done that, what you want to finally do is add 4.5 cups of powdered sugar. And then just mix that all together. Okay, so now it's time to put the icing on the cake. Now, I have 1 cake right here. I have the other one set aside, it's still cooling. And what we're going to do now is take some of that cream cheese icing and then just put it on the top of this cake right here until it covers all the edges. And then we're going to take the other cake and put it on top of there. And then just take the rest of that icing and put it on top of the other cake that you put on top of the other cake. And you also kind of want to run it down the sides a little bit. Cover every single inch of the outside of the cake, like I'm doing right here. Okay, so now that you've done all that, what you want to do now is put this in the refrigerator for about 2 hours for the icing and everything to harden up and everything to cool completely. And then I'll come back, I'll cut a slice off, and I'll show for presentation. Alright, our red velvet cake is done, and I cut a piece off just so you can see the inside real good. Like I said, it was so easy to make. Yeah, it was time consuming, but it's all well worth it because this tastes amazing. This is the best red velvet cake you will ever try. But if you try this recipe out, leave in the comment section down below and tell me what you thought, whether you liked it or you hated it. And if you liked this video, thumb it up, hate this video, thumb it down, and be sure to subscribe and become a member of the JW faction on our journey to 10,000 subscribers. See you later.